Welcome back to another YouTube video. We are in for arms today. So I'm going to take you through full arm session, bicep, tricep, superset. So we work between one bicep and one tricep, all the other way around. And sets wise, 3 sets on each. Rep ranges, looking at 10 to 15. We're only aimed to spend 45 minutes here. So that is the plan for today. Nothing crazy. I do actually I've just checked in with Luke in person, and he scheduled me a high day. So I'm thinking actually now that I'm going to film a high day as well. So arms might be one video, and then a high day might be another video. So yeah, I think we'll do that. So we're just doing an arm session today, and then stay tuned for the high day, which will be coming after this. But just to give you some context, high day wise, he said around 5,000 calories. I think calories at the moment for a training day is about 3,600. So we'll be looking at 5K today, and I've just had meal 1, which was not in the high day, because you just had a look at me post meal 1 pre-training, and then we'll add the carbs and the fats to the other meals. So we'll just go off that. But yeah, pretty simple with arms. Just ticking through. The goal is not to rest too much. Once we get going and started, we'll just keep it moving, keep the blood moving. Moderate load. Not go super heavy, which I've being someone who's done that before. It hasn't really paid off too well. So keep the load fairly moderate and just bang out the reps. But superset is kind of how I like to do things. Like I said, not resting really between sets, kind of just keeping things moving and taking over. So we'll get into it, 45 minutes to an hour, and then we'll go in and do 4 rounds posing, which is what we do after every session. So I've already done one of my rounds today, so we'll just do 3 post-workout. Cardio done this morning. Cardio was only 4 sessions this week, so instead of 7, we dropped it this week to see how things would pan out. And body weight was the same this morning as it was like 2 days into when I was away. So we got back on Thursday. Had a 1 to 2 meals, which were kind of off plan, but clean off plan. So I just swapped out my chicken for steak. Really, that was kind of it. And side dishes, I was probably eating less than what my food is right now. So Luke was saying I was flat this morning, which is why we're running this high day. So we're just going off that. I think I just mumbled quite a lot of things together there, but you get the gist. We're back, and we'll now dig for a couple more weeks and see where things lie. But the plan is we haven't actually scheduled any show dates yet. We're kind of just doing the do, which, to be honest, it's the first time we've not scheduled any show dates. Normally, we have a date in mind of what show we're going to hit as soon as we start prep. So my first 3 seasons we had that show date in place, and that would give us something to work towards. Whereas now it's very much open, which I kind of like. I kind of enjoy the fact that I'm just enjoying just doing the do and prepping. I could, there's nothing different than just doing this in the off season and doing this in prep. It's the same shit every single day. So nothing much changes for me in terms of that, in terms of mindset. And then when we're kind of ready, we'll choose a date and get after it. So no pressure, no expectations this year. Just another year of doing the do and enjoying myself and being able to do this. I do have as well some exciting news coming soon, which is pretty cool. Something I signed when I was away, so that might give it a clue away. But I'm sure I'll be able to release that as soon as possible because it's pretty cool. It's something that I've wanted probably for the last 6 or 7 years maybe. So it's still a bit, what's the word? It doesn't feel real, you know. So it's pretty cool. When I get to announce that, that'll be exciting. So we'll get into this session now, get going, and then we'll take you through it. So first kind of round done, first bicep tricep done, which was the rope extensions and dumbbell hammer. Now we move into what would be dips, but we're going to do a close grip Smith because I like it, and then go into a preacher dual arm curl, which is our kind of second round, which will be the same sets. Just 2 sets on the close grip Smith, 3 sets on the curls. So kind of the same rep range on the curls, and then a 6 to 10 and a 12 to 15 with a drop set on the Smith. This is like our last week of intensifiers. We've been running drop sets and rest pause sets for the whole of prep up until now, and Luke's kind of going to pull it as we go into next week with tomorrow's check-in. So this was our last session doing intensifiers. You know, I kind of like it. It kind of increases the intensity of the session of what I found. Obviously helps you push beyond that failure point instead of going to the absolute deaths on your working sets and leaving yourself in a hole, you know. Which the majority of times I could easily put myself into a hole and bottom out on a lot of things, which I was doing on the Smith machine, which is why I did the Smith squats last week when I was away, and I really enjoyed it. Kind of want to bring it back into the sessions. It's probably not the best idea, bring it back in with where we're at in prep, but I like squatting, and I miss squatting. So when I get an opportunity to do that, I want to take it, but it's just the unracking and racking for me, which is the thing that's kind of questioning whether I have to put it back in, because I can't unrack it and rack it myself. I have to have someone there. But I am planning or want to buy the gym pin handles that go on the Smith, so I can actually unrack it and rack it myself. So potentially for next off season, I want to run that once I get the gym pin things. And maybe that will stop me from going on the Smith for the rest of the prep, which might be a good thing. If I just stick to pendulum and safer pieces of equipment, then we should be good. So we'll get to this. So our last kind of round is another curl, so single arm, kind of, I don't know what to call it, like behind the body curls. If you were to set up a cable, it's machine, you'll see on the video. And then we've got a single arm tricep extension from the opposite shoulder. So the cable's coming from here and we're extending out, standing. I really like doing a single arm version of this. You know, after doing 2 dual arm tricep extensions, it's nice to do a single arm. So this is our last set actually, so I'll film my last set on both. That'll be us boxed off and then we'll get into some posing, but only a short one today. Just wanted to take you through my arm session. Obviously arms is like the most boring session of the week, but it's a necessity for myself. It's a lagging body part, it still is. Even though we're still entering prep with it, it was still a body part that I seriously want to improve on. You know, I take pictures after today's session and the physique comes to life when I've got bigger arms. You know, so if I can get my arms to the size of what they're at after an arm session, that is the goal. You know, because the physique, it just looks more complete. You know, my arms are slightly lagging to other body parts. So they stand out, and obviously having long limbs doesn't help. So I've got a huge wingspan, which just needs filling out, to be honest. And to do that, it just takes time, and more time in the game, and realizing that they're a stubborn body part. You know, even though we trained arms, we have an arm session, and then I do chest and arms as well. So I do 1 bicep and 1 tricep after my chest session, and an arm session. And they've definitely come up this year. But I obviously want them to be bigger than they are, because it just completes the whole session, the whole physique, and makes it, just when I'm looking at pictures and posing, maybe that's just me, because I feel like I've got small arms. So obviously us as bodybuilders, we're our biggest critics, and we focus in on the things that we don't like or the things that we know need the most improvement. So obviously I'm going to do that. Other people might look at them and say, fucking hell, they're huge. But for me, they're not, and they need to be brought up. So that's what we're working on. But it's a process. It's not something that you can rush at all. It is a slow burning marathon. And all it requires is coming in every arm session and destroying your arms and going back home and eating and resting and repeating that for what it is. So yeah, something that I'm taking a lot of inspiration from this prep is, as I do every prep, but Jay Cutler, I'm watching his One Step Closer DVD at the moment, and he's just come off stage at the 2007 Olympia, I think. I might be wrong in that. He's done an Olympia when he came second to Ronnie. Obviously that happened a lot of time, but just that era of bodybuilding and just him as a bodybuilder, to me, is the epitome of bodybuilding, and always what I like to strive to be, and how I like to do my bodybuilding. You know, it's you know, take inspiration from people like that, and I know thousands, hundreds of thousands of people take inspiration from him across the world. But you know, he's the GOAT in my eyes, and along with like Dorian Yates and obviously Ronnie and things like that. But Jay is just someone I've been drawn to from the start. You know, so it's helping. I'm enjoying watching his content, and I always watch content from pretty much before the 2000s, to be honest. I don't watch much modern day bodybuilding. It's more so the early 90s and everything like that, because it was just simpler times, and the lack of social media they had, I think, benefited them. You know, so cool to watch and take a lot of inspiration from. So we're going to get into that last set, show you what we're doing, and then we'll be done.